Hi, everyone. I am here with Russell McKeith, one of our agriculture professors and a member of the EDAC committee. So, Russell, what is your favorite food truck?
I don't know if I have a favorite food truck, but I definitely would consider myself a foodie and enjoy all types of different restaurants, whether they're food trucks or restaurants in Visalia and Tulare.
Awesome. What was the main reason you chose teaching?
I guess to educate young people about animal science or agriculture, an area that I'm really passionate about because we need young people to go into these areas for future employment.
Yeah. And what courses do you teach at COS?
I teach a plethora of courses. I teach intro to animal science. I teach feeds and feeding, which is livestock nutrition, swine science, beef cattle science, meat science, livestock evaluation and selection, livestock merchandising, advanced food safety management, and then we do work experience as well.
That's a lot of course prep.
And I forget, I teach a general ag society environment. So yeah, I hardly repeat courses every semester.
What is your proudest non-teaching accomplishment?
I think proudest non-teaching teaching accomplishment would probably have to be, meeting my wife. So luckily I can go home and spend time with somebody with outside of work and not just be at work all the time. And ironically, we met in grad school, so we teach the same things.
What is something most people don't know about your past?
Most people don't know or probably wouldn't think that I was a Eagle Scout. I was in Boy Scouts, and if anybody's seen the movie Up that really knows me, they think of me as Russell playing in the movie Up.
Oh, I love that. Um, Good segue. What's your watch it 1,000 times movie?
Probably Forrest Gump, or I also like A League of Their Own. I'm really into sports, and I've always loved that movie growing up.
And what's your late work policy?
Uh, I used to be pretty strict on no late work, but with COVID and just, I guess, understanding students better, I take it for partial credit the remainder of the semester.
And how about your absence policy?
My absence policy, we do take uh, attendance for participation. So if they talk to me up front, I'm usually more lenient. But if they tell me after, sometimes that can be more difficult to comprehend. But I'm usually willing to work with the students.
What is one piece of advice for your students?
I think try everything, because originally I was pre-med in college, wanted to go to medical school, and I switched to animal science. But you don't know if you're going to like something until you try it. So that would be my one word of advice.
And how about, do you have any pets?
I do. My wife and I, we have two dogs. They're rescue dogs. They were puppies. So they're actually brother and sister. So it's Roxy and Charlie. They're kind of Chihuahua mutts per se, but they're fun.
And on a Sunday, would you rather hike a mountain or kill zombies?
Um, Probably use my Boy Scout tools that I learned and go hike a mountain. I don't know if I'd be successful at killing zombies.
What is your favorite recent teaching moment?
Working here at COS, we were recognized this last year for being the outstanding post-secondary program in the state of California. So I think just working with awesome people in our division and getting some notoriety for all the work we do on a daily basis was really rewarding.
So where do you go for a long weekend?
I would, before moving here, I would say going hiking, but I really like the ocean as well. So probably maybe a mixture of the two. I like the Central Coast a great deal.
Are you someone who is a do it now person, or are you someone who waits until the last minute?
I'd rather do it now because if I wait till last, I may forget and miss deadlines.
Apart from teaching in agriculture, what's one other career you'd pursue?
I don't know if I would pursue a different one. I really enjoy what I do. So
What is your favorite anxiety reliever?
I I like to go like binge watch TV.
What is one inanimate object you'd take to a desert island?
It's funny I thought about this, but since I'm a Boy Scout, I take a pocket knife or like a multi-tool because you got to eat to survive.
Uh, what is your favorite thing about your job?
Interacting with students and seeing the light go off when they finally get something.
Your office decor, is it minimalist or maximalist?
If you could see it, it's maximalist. I got a little bit of everything.
What is the biggest obstacle you would remove for students if you could?
I think one is, especially here at COS, just transportation, getting students to be able to come and who truly want to come. I think a lot of them have a hard time coming due to transportation issues.
And then our final question, what is the best thing about being a Costa member?
I think the best thing is just working with our fellow colleagues on how to face inequities in the work environment and how to best advocate for all the hard work that we do to others. So I think those are the good things.
Thank you so much, Russell, for your time. And thank you everyone for watching. Have a really great day.